triple threat. Industry triple threat. Wow, first the looming recession coming within the next 12 to 18 months. Second, a demographic time bomb, reducing permanently the number of car buyers. Third, basic disruption of shared mobility and mobility as a service. It's pretty intense. Hey, what's up, ecosystem? How you guys doing? Listen, you ever feel like you need to have 2020 vision to manage all the new information? How do you do it? What are you going to do? You're going to watch Auto Transport Intel. It's a new year. You're going to want to buckle in. It's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. What's up, everybody? Anybody else love that theme song? Man, I really like it. Somebody once asked what it's called. It's called Dirt Road Traveler. And thank you guys for joining me again on another Tuesday night. It is the first Tuesday night of the new year. This is episode 119. Rich Bren said, why don't we call it 2020 Vision? So that's what it is. Listen, if this is your first time here, I want you to feel welcome. I really do appreciate you tuning in. I want to tell you what's going to happen. And whether you're watching on demand or you're joining us live, I want you to feel welcome. In this show, you can feel welcome. If you've got a question you don't think you can ask anywhere else, you can ask it here. Put it in the live chat. Put it in the comments below. Definitely friendly, safe zone. Hello, live chat. That's a big part of the show. If you're in the live chat, please do say hello. It means a lot. Let us know where you are, what you're doing. Company name, promote yourself. Do it. Then we're going to go into industry news at the first quarter hour. Industry news is social media, national news, company, products, services, information, of course, memes. So if you got something you think you want to share, send it to me. autotransportintel@gmail.com, and you can be in the industry news. Then we're going to go into the information superhighway. It's going to be brief tonight. I'm just going to lay down a few of the I did something new. We're going to try something new. It's a new year. It's a new day. We're going to try something new. I'll tell you about it in the superhighway. Again, you're lucky if you're watching on demand because you can just skip ahead to that part in the timeline. But if you're with me now, please be patient. Hang on. This is a long show. This is going to be a 2-hour show because we're going to start off with the 2020 Vision discussion panel. All right. And we're going to cover a lot of topics. This is kind of a catch-all news topic show with some experts. We got Rich Bren from PFA Transportation and Insurance Surety Services. Yeah, this is a live show. So I could do anything, I could say anything wrong, I can mess up my words. We're here together. That's what's fun about it. So if you're joining me now, you're joining me live and we're connecting. That's pretty cool, right? We also got Ziggy Keller. He's great at connecting the car hauling ecosystem. Thousands of group members on autotransporteverything.com. If you're here from Auto Transport Everything, please do say hello. I know you may not want to. You're skeptical of this show. It's okay. It's all right. We're all skeptical. It's a fragmented industry. That's why I created Auto Transport Intel. And of course, my friend and business partner, Thompson, is with us tonight. And we're going to have a great discussion panel. Really looking forward to it. Then we're going to go into talking about the Clearinghouse, the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. What a fun time that is January 7th. It started yesterday as far as the deadline of registration. We're going to go into how that's going. And then because it's so much fun, the Clearinghouse, we're going to have Luke Kibbe from Glowstone Trucking Solutions joining the conversation. Now, Gina Kessler, she's the president of Impact Employee Solutions, and she does webinars and education on the topic. Luke Kibbe from Glowstone, that's an organization that also covers this topic. You may have seen videos from OEMs. In fact, if you're from OEMs and you got the invite and you're here with us tonight, please do say hello. If you're from ATA or AHA or MCIEF or any of the other organizations, please say hello, because this show is for you. It's for me. It's for everybody here. So I do want you to feel welcome. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to, let's see here. Okay, I'm just looking at my rundown. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the live chat right after this. Please stick around. I'll see you in a second.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
All right, Sue is a friend of the show at Murphy Auto Transport, Murphy Auto Dispatch Services. Really, you can call her, you can email her, ask her a question, see if she can be your new dispatch service. She also does brokering, and she knows a lot about it. So feel free to contact her. And if you have a question about it, you can put it in the live chat. I see the live chat going crazy already. We are, by the way, we're live simulcasting on YouTube and on Facebook. We're on the Auto Transport Intel, Autotrans Intel Facebook page, and also the CTS Business Coaching Facebook page, and of course, Auto Transport Intel YouTube channel. So if you're on any of those pages, please do say hello. I'm checking the Facebook page over here. I got my YouTube screen over here, and you're right here. So listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bill at Bad Apples is the first one to say hello tonight. Thank you, Bill. What's up, Jay? Happy Tuesday. Well, happy Tuesday to you, Bill. January 7th, 2020. We made it. We're here. Is it exciting? I don't know. It's just another year, man. We just turned the calendar. Is it just another year? I don't know. Carlos Braxton, somebody let me know if there's something. I don't know. I think things change as you get older, right? And you know, the magic and impact of time lessens a little bit. So I don't know. If I was in my 20s, I might be like, yeah, 2020, and I'm 20. But now that I'm not 20, I'm older than that. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, it's just another year, right? Okay, ACV Logistics, Carlos Braxton tuning in. What's up, Carlos? Thanks for tuning in. Danny B says hello, everyone. What's up, Danny B? Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Mark is with us. Hey, Mark at Superflow. What's up, Mark? Actually, almost done editing the second Superflow show. It's going to be a great video edit. Every time I dive into the editing, I spend more time on it than I plan on it. Then that's why, you know, man, I got to fight myself to the editing table, because I always work harder on it than I expect to. And I work hard on these shows, too. I got all kinds of stuff planned. Hopefully it goes right. It's a live show. Anything can happen. Miguel Valley says, hey, what's up, Jay? Hey, what's up, Miguel? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thanks for saying hello. Lucky Gato. What's up, Lucky? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Johannes Burgos. Hey, what's up, Johannes? You know, I see the name and I read it. So hopefully I'm close. And I appreciate you tuning in. It really does mean a lot. Kevin Lesturgeon is back. Shaw Auto Carrier says Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year, Kevin. That is a truck starting. So, you know, you could get a siren. You could get a truck starting. And so Happy New Year to you. I don't know what that has to do with Happy New Year. Do you? Johan is starting in the new hauling business. You know, that's an interesting thing. On this show, we do cover that information. You'll find some videos out there that is just all about starting a business. We are going to talk about that also tonight. I think it's important to know a lot of the things going on besides which truck you need, which trailer you need, how to get certified. I don't know if that's the hard part. I think the hard part is actually managing a successful business. And you can ask anybody that's been in this business a long time, and they're like, I don't know, man. Maybe I wouldn't do it if I had the chance. Something to think about. It's good to get the positive and negative feedback. Cameron Mitchell, Dallas, Texas. What's up, Cameron? Thanks for saying hello. I appreciate it. Hey, Jay, it's Marcus from Exclusive Luxury Transport in Las Vegas. What is up, M. Fields? Thanks for tuning in. How does the war affect truckers? Wow, that's an interesting question. Right out of the box, too, asking a good question. Thank you, Cameron. I feel like some people will probably chime in. I'm going to keep moving on, but we might come back to that. Kenneth, good evening, Jay and chat. You First Transport is here. Glad to finally catch a live show again. Thank you, Kenneth. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you were able to make another live show. Not everybody can make the show live. That's cool. I know a lot of people miss it live, and I'm working on getting a podcast together, a podcast feed, because I know, like, you're driving. It'd be great to just have it, blasting in the truck. I'm sure it would be. Top trending, what's up? From I-10 Cruise Control into South Carolina from Houston. Right on, man. Now, that's a good way to consume a show. Premium Transport says hello. What's up? Top trending. Thank you so much, man. Keep on cruising. Randy Hammond says good evening. What's up, Randy? Thanks for tuning in. Brian Pepsin Auto Transport. Hey, what's up? Happy New Year. I own 2020. Oh, you own it. Well, all right, man. Go get them. Can owner-operators make money in 2020? That is a good question. Can anybody make money in 2020, right? Is it me? We're going to talk about it. It's certainly not an easy-peasy straight line, but, we're going to try. Jay the Man is live and rocking it again tonight. Arizona is here with you, ready to roll. Thanks, Rich. And Rich, thank you, buddy. You were a big part of me putting together this show in this theme. I think we talked, what was that, Friday? It was either Thursday or Friday. So, yeah, that was just last Friday, when this show started getting put together. Some shows are booked weeks in advance. Man, sometimes a time slot opens up. Nobody wanted the New Year slot. Actually, I had it booked. Then it opened up. So, I'm putting together another show for next Tuesday night. And then I got some already booked. So, hey, man, let me know what you think this show should be about. And thank you, Rich, 2020 Vision. That's Rich's call. Depends on the owner-operator, just like any other year. It's true. What's up, Ty? Is this where you find clear vision? Yeah, dude, rubbing the eyes. I was watching Groundhog's Day earlier today when I was putting the show together, and it's fun to tap into other random creativeness when you're getting creative. I like to do that. You guys get creative. I know you do. You got to be creative when you're out on the road. We're starting the year off pretty well. Well, good, Kenneth. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. More regulations. Amen. Man, I don't know how many new user terms and agreements I had to sign in the software. Have you guys seen that? Just all this software is like, okay, click here. Did you read it? Did you review it? It's 2020. And sign here to, cash your robot check. Robot check. That makes no sense. Richard Bren, hey, what's up, big time? Silvermint, what's up, car haulers? What's up, Silvermint? Thanks for tuning in, man. Good to hear from you. I love it when I get a member of the core, right, as I like to say. Appreciate it so much. And when you guys send me emails, kind of, outside the loop, you send it to autotransportintel@gmail.com. I read them, I respond, and I really do appreciate the input. Ziggy says hello. What's up, Ziggy? Glad to have you on the show tonight. That's awesome that you can make it. Really do appreciate it. Carving out time. And I know that, everybody's got their own lives going on. And so if you've carved out Tuesday night to join the Auto Transport Intel community, that is awesome. I really appreciate it. Yohamas Ty, Worldwide Used Car Guy Limited Co. Here to absorb some auto transport vision. That's awesome, man. Thank you for tuning in. Because this is not just, I say this all the time, this is not just a show for carriers. In fact, there's some carriers that are like, yeah, that ain't my show. So this is not just a show for carriers. It's for brokers. It is for dealers. If you work at an auction, if you work at an OEM, if you deal in insurance, truck manufacturer, trailer manufacturer, car hauling supplies, if you're a car puller, I'm telling you, the point of this show is to learn about the car shipping industry and ecosystem. There is a lot to know, so thank you so much, Worldwide, for joining us tonight. That's awesome. Richard Bren, Iraq thing can have an impact on your fuel costs. True that. Louis Silva is here with us. John Liberator, Primacy Risk Services saying hello. Well, thank you, John. That's awesome. I just said insurance. Thank you so much. And it's not just insurance. Shoot, there are research institutes, organizations of all types. Man, there's car shipping touches unbelievable amounts of groups and people. It's awesome. Vincent from Ship Your Car Now. What's up, Vincent? Dude, that's awesome. I was talking to John Robertson, touched base with John Robertson recently. Saw on Dealership News on LinkedIn, was giving a shout out to you guys at Ship Your Car Now, so congrats. That's awesome stuff. Why Sean Gibson? Hey, Jay from Jess and Wyatt Gibson. Been a while. Hope all is well. Yes, thank you, Why Sean. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got your t-shirt. Gibson Auto Transport. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Hello from Maryland. And good. Worldwide. Talk to Ty Thompson. Absolutely. That's a definite thing to do. RB the Hauler, what's up? RB the Hauler, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. Ernest Martin is with us. Sold my 10-car Peterbilt. Sleeping better. Interesting, man. Interesting. Thanks for letting us know. Brian Ardman, Bun Your Transport, checking in. What's up, Brian? And by the way, I was just, as I was saying that, saying hello to Brian, Ernest really did get my attention. You know, selling your 10-car Peterbilt, I'm sure, was a really big deal, a life-changing moment. Sometimes we have to make those life-changing decisions and go in another direction. So maybe, you know, maybe it's a different 10-car, whatever. These things, you know, we got these obstacles we need to overcome. We put them on our task list. Seek and destroy. All right. Seek and destroy. What is this, Metallica? Joseph McCleary, sorry you're late. Hey, you're not late. Watching our new war. Really? Bet you this will affect you. Is there new war news? Listen, I keep up. I read all kinds of art periodicals, not just industry, but national news. But I haven't watched any national news. When it's show day, I'm in the zone, man. I haven't seen any national news since probably like 1 or 2 o'clock today. So keep me posted. Put it in the live chat. That's awesome. Plaintiff's attorneys having a field day. Yeah, amen. Williams Eek, learn a lot from your show. Still learning. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Williams Eek. Listen, man, I really appreciate that. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a vacuum. Believe me, I look at other channels and shows and metrics, and I'm like, what is going on? You know. But hey, I do appreciate every single person that gets something out of this channel and show. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. Was a newbie 8 months ago. Everybody said I was nuts. Give up your $130,000 a year job. Wow. Yeah, man. That's tough, man. You really took a dive. Master of Puppets. Yeah, took a dive. I mean, you know, jumped right in. You know, you got to go for it. Anything we go for, we got to really go for it, right? Just have to do it. Wishing an amazing 2020 to everyone. Thank you, Joe at Car Shipper. That's awesome. All right, I'm a few minutes late. I'm going to do this, and then we're going to be right back with industry news.
Hey guys, Ty, CTS Business Coaching. I connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. If you're a dealer and you're not getting your inventory on the lot in 5 days ready to sell, you've got a problem. It's called interest. Like I'm telling you something you don't know. Give me a call. I can connect you with an auction and a carrier, and you can get your cars on the lot in 5 days or less. 417-483-2764. Thanks and have a great day.
All right, and he means it, man. Really, you can contact Ty. If you have a question, he's in the live chat. He's going to be on the show tonight. He reads the comments after the show. So send Ty an email, ty@ctsbusinesscoaching.com. He put his phone number up there. He is accessible, and he wants to answer your questions. And you can also go to ctsbusinesscoaching.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for industry news. We're already a few minutes late. It's the segment you love to hate. Okay. By the way, this is episode 119, Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live. This is 2020 Vision. We're going to talk about industry topics. Can you believe it? Like, seriously, that I've already been live for 20 minutes. Some people are like, yeah, I know. It feels like an hour, Jay. Would you get on with it? Okay. All right, let's go into industry news. Let's move this. Oh, here we go. We've got to move this here. And, yep, I love to start with a meme. You're not in the clearinghouse. You're the one on drugs. I made that meme. Okay, I started making my own memes. All right, fine. I have to because no one else wants them. Okay. This is what happens if you go to clearinghousenavigator.com. Okay, come on, Jay. Please be. Really? Well, let's see. FMCSA experiencing issues with drug and alcohol clearinghouse on Monday afternoon. Yeah, there were issues. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. System crash. Okay, this is today. This is 2 hours ago. System crash. Is it still crashing? What is going on in the world? Hey, is anybody familiar with Central Dispatch? I have a question. Oh, I don't know. Gee, anybody anybody familiar with Central Dispatch? By the way, I just want to make sure. I think you guys can see me and hear me okay. I haven't heard anybody say otherwise. Please do let me know. Well, let's see here. Could there be an issue with the triple posting we saw of the 1994 Ford L800? Nah. Could there be an issue with the quadruple posting of the 2008 Lamborghini Gallardo? Nah. It's okay. Boy, 3 of them at the exact same price. What is going on there? You know what happens. It happens, the shipper gets excited, and they start calling everybody thinking there's all these different load boards. It's pretty funny. Well, there are some different load boards. But anyways, Central Dispatch latest news for a detailed explanation of our ratings management process. Have you seen this? There's a 2-page PDF. Let's do this here. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Have you guys seen this? No, I'm serious. Let's see here. Central Dispatch. I downloaded it. Central Dispatch rules of engagement. Central Dispatch ratings management. Okay. So, anyways, when you're frustrated, go ahead and peruse this 2-page document, and it'll let you know exactly the rules of engagement. Okay. So there you go. So that's relevant news. I'm gonna categorize. I'm gonna file that under relevant news. Thanks, Jay. Okay, what else we got? Oh, it looks like Baltimore might finally be putting a walkthrough gate from the truck lot to the sold lot. I might actually pull my own cars now. Hey, that's pretty good to know. Huh? Check that out. But in case you are hiring the Boston carpooling service at Odessa in Boston. Jim posted this. He's got hours of operation, guidelines, telephone, method of payment, location. That's pretty good information there. $10 a car, 5-unit minimum. Okay. All right, good to know. What else we got here? Let's bring that back up. I know. What is going on? Oh, okay. This is, so Derek Hopkins, I saw he posted this on Auto Transport Everything. Had a customer ask for a quote to move 200 units, 12.8 miles. There will be a $37 toll for 5 axles. I lost the bid. They said a local guy bid $30 a car. Man, this thing in 39 minutes had 66 comments and 18 reactions. Right? You see this, and this stuff's happening all over the place. It's the competition amoebas have, competition amoebas? Really? And this is what I get for trying to help my dealer posting a few loads on Central. Well, there you go, man. There you go. Is that why people don't like dispatchers? Maybe. John is selling his 2016 Volvo enclosed trailer. Looks pretty good, man. Looks pretty good. You interested in that? got a phone number, price, and a name. That's John. Let him know. Thanks, John. What else we got here? Oh, Mike's just sharing his rig. Few loads last while. Wish you all the best in 2020. Mike was on the show, and I should have found this interesting. Look at all the reactions and comments that thing got. You know, 'cause this is a passionate industry and community. It's very passionate. This is how you get the car shipping news. You watch it on TV. You have your laptop out. I think this was from the Dispatch Center show, so I appreciate that. Share with me how you get your news. Somebody sent me this. I think this is the wall unit. Oh no, I guess it's sitting on like a cabinet. Somebody had that in their living room. Thank you very much. Check out this video. Very proud of it. Auto Transport Software Update Q4 2019. Might be one of my favorite videos from last year. Definitely want to check that out. This kind of leads into what we're doing tonight with covering 2020 vision and all these topics. OEM, dealer, auction, 3PL. I came off the plane from Used Car Week in November in 2019, and I started jotting down all the different sectors that I thought, wow, people are really talking about. In fact, I think this is from ATRI Research. I must not be the only one jotting down kind of a rank of things we need to talk about. It's hard to manage. Here, how about this? Oh, here's a visualization from ATRI. Driver shortage, yeah, we got that one tonight. Truck parking, driver retention, driver compensation. Yeah, those are good ones. Here, let's go. Oh, here we go. Let's really get crazy. Here we go. These are the rankings of top 10 issues by year per year. That's really interesting. Wow. Look at that. Get your bingo card ready. 2015 issue 5, ELD mandate. Oh, here we go. I love this kind of stuff. Look at this. This takes time to consume. And listen, you want to. I know. Again, I get into this. I realize, okay, I stopped talking about how to strap down a car and stuff. Dude, really, man, look at the brands on this page. If you're hauling vehicles, which you are, or if you're brokering vehicles, which you are, think of why and the companies that originated the shipment. There is a lot to learn up here. You know, Cox Automotive isn't just Central Dispatch. It isn't just one dispatch. It isn't just Mannheim. It isn't just Dealer Track. I haven't even scratched the surface of what Cox Automotive does. Stay informed. Here we go. For example, Cox Automotive is, how do I say it right? Part of the group that is putting together Rivian, the electric truck, integrating Alexa. Ask Cox Automotive about that one. That's pretty interesting stuff. In fact, that's going to be, I really hope I get to go to NADA 2020 in February. That's in about a month and a half. Going to be amazing stuff talked about at NADA 2020. Here's another thing, Carvana, Humble Beginnings. Man, there is so much happening with Carvana. The question is, will it become profitable? It's looking, you know, some of these larger gambles, think of like Amazon and Tesla. They're setting the standard. In fact, here's another. This is big news. And CES started today. I think I have that in a slide. The Ford Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle. Dude, check that out. So yeah, again, I came from Used Car Week talking about all the industry changes. So much stuff going on there. Oh, have you guys seen top 12 car hauling load boards? Man, this video is going crazy. It's a pretty amazing video, if I do say so. Okay, Jay. All right, have you gotten off topic, Jay? All right. CES started today. Automotive technology. I mean, BMW, Ford. You've got Nissan. The Honda smartphone is Bren. Man, this is crazy. These still cars we're talking about? Yep. Oh, by the way, I see Shaggy in the live chat. Hey, Shaggy, listen. If you want to learn about general freight, trucking, logistics, brokering, check out Shaggy's Consulting and Training in Memphis. What is that? When's that start, Shaggy? Friday? How about the magical timing on that? You're here, you're there, bada bing, bada boom. We're live. In Atlanta, then just go ahead and swing on over to Atlanta on Tuesday, January 21st. The Clearinghouse Roundtable. You want to get signed up for this? It's free. Go to clearinghouseroundtable.com. This is with Gina and IES, Impact Employee Solutions. January should be FMCSA Clearinghouse month. I'm pretty sure. Here's Gina's website. You can go to info@impactemployee.com, 800 number. Check it out. Learn. We got a webinar for Truckify coming up in January. You like that dispatch center stuff? Man, I'm telling you, there's a ton of info. January 31st, there's going to be an online compliance conference with Glowstone Trucking Solutions. Can you see that? Luke is going to be on the show tonight. He's going to be talking more about this. Gina's going to be on the show tonight talking more about her conference. Oh, and here's the glowstone.com website. Great resource library going on. You'll find auto transport intel on there somewhere. What else? Oh, man, the AB5 news. Crazy. I mean, good thing, I think. We're going to talk about it, actually. I don't know. I mean, when I say good thing, I mean the exemption. I don't know about this law, man. People are freaking out. Trucking crash fraud. You read about this story down in New Orleans? They started seeing a pattern. I mean, it's like a 2020 episode. Junk, or whatever that is. Law and Order. What impact will increased crash litigation have on the trucking industry? Well, litigation has we saw it. Who was talking about that? I know it was in the live chat. Nah, man, it's driving me crazy. Who was it? John Libertor talking about trucking litigation, I do believe. We're going to be talking about that tonight, if we have time. Video shows moment pedestrian is fatally struck by cement truck in Brooklyn. Right? Oh, man. Yeah, could have been a car hauler. I'm just saying. Okay. Don't kill the messenger. Economic forecast for trucking, gloomy with a chance of recession. What I was just reading. I was just reading this in dealership news. I was reading it, talking about next 12 to 18 months. Read everything you can. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It's advanced underwriting from MCIEF. We got Rich Bren on the show tonight. We're going to be talking about MCIEF also. What else we got? Oh, by the way, speaking of MCIEF, they have some great webinars. I'm signed up for this one. When is this? 9 days. Truck stop webinar. How the insured can help claims handling by taking the empathetic approach. Empathy. Who needs empathy? Okay, everybody needs a little empathy. Speaking of, you know what? We are going to talk about the sleep apnea. Now, I don't have sleep apnea, but I don't sleep well, so maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know anything about CPAPs or sleep apnea, so we're gonna learn more about that tonight. I don't know. Sometime. Let's see. Rich Bren, PFA protects PFA transportation insurance and surety services. Do you know what a BMC 84, BMC 85 is? We might talk about it. You're definitely going to talk about this at PFA. By the way, how does this matter? Again, what if I'm a carrier, I'm a car hauler? Why are you talking about this stuff, Jay? Guess what? You know what? You can make more money by also becoming the broker and carrier than by staring at load boards. Say it ain't so. It's true. It's true. Oh, here we go. Oh, good. I'm glad we got the siren because the biggest issue is huge lawsuits with even bigger verdicts. Morgan, Cohen, and Bach. Hope to have Dan on the show. Talk about that stuff. Oh my gosh. Industry news goes forever tonight, Jay. This is crazy. Hey, tech for identifying vehicles to inspect advances rapidly. I was reading this. This is insane. In fact, I was in the McDonald's and I asked the guy, hey, how do you know which car I am when you got multiple lanes pulling up to the window? He said, well, there's a camera taking photos of each car, so he knows which car is which. Well, guess what? They're doing that now. I mean, I don't know if they're doing it now or tomorrow or in an hour from now, but they're going to imply the smart technology at the way stations so that as the trucks are rolling down the road, you've got graphics of images of, when's the last inspection, heat sensors on your tires, heat sensors on your parts of your truck. Holy mackerel. This is going to get crazy. What is this, a Tom Selleck movie? Savick Enterprises advertising a service. There you go. Do you want to see it on live on YouTube on Auto Transport Intel? Send it to me, autotransportintel@gmail.com. And looking for a gig in communications? Look at this, Car Global. Met Christine back at I think that was Auto Intel Summit in Raleigh. So shout out to you, Christine, and Car Global. And hey, if you're looking for a gig in communications, there you go. Contact Car Global. Christine Beck is on LinkedIn. And if you are, look at this, man. You want to see what can happen when you work hard and build your business? Go For It app. The amount of promotion I'm seeing on Facebook for Go For It app. I've also had Nick on the show. We did an interview where we learned more about Go For It app. Listen, you're building your business and you're growing your technology. Keep on going. There is a lot you can do with social media and industry news. So let me know. autotransportintel@gmail.com. Like I said, this is episode 119. It is 2020 vision. Okay, here we go. Hey, Rich, Ziggy, Ty, hang on for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm going to email your invites. I knew that I'd be behind on time. I haven't read a live chat in, I don't know, like 10 or 15 minutes. But it's okay because we're going to be right back after this. I want you to stick around. We're going to do just a little bit of information superhighway, and then we're going to get into the discussion panel. Stick around. Thanks.
Superflow Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geo-located pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
Hey, if you're just joining the show, listen, I do appreciate it. I know it's a long show. I appreciate you joining me on a Tuesday night. Whether you come and go, treat this like a bar or a saloon where you might get information, might see your buddies. You could say something, sound off, and then, go back outside and pick a fight. Don't pick fights. But it is a busy world. I talk to people about media all the time. Busy world, busy place. Lots happening, so don't worry if you don't catch this show live. Maybe you don't catch this show ever. Maybe once a year. It's okay. We're still going to be here doing our thing. Speaking of, all right, real quick, I just want to let you know, CTS Transport Business Coaching, you know about it. If you have a question, go to ctsbusinesscoaching.com. Here's what we're going to do tonight. Now, I pulled this off of autotransportintel.com. Yep, if you go to autotransportintel.com, you will see this on the homepage. And right now, people are like, whatever. Okay, what is this? Okay, so what we're going to do is, I was talking to Ty. He was talking about speed round. I said, you know what, Ty is right. This speed round idea, this is a pretty good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to... There we go. Now you can hear it. We're going to click the wheel, and we're going to go into some topics. We got brokers and brokering, high tech, FMCSA clearinghouse, cars, dealers, and OEMs, drivers shortage. What else we got here? Insurance rates and risk, California Bill AB 5, communities and groups, marketplace rates. Anyways, we're going to spin the wheel, and... Like, what is he doing? Yeah, we're actually going to try this. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to spin the topic wheel. Whatever it lands on, we're going to go into that topic. Now, we're going to go into it for 5 minutes. I found this at onlineclock.net. And then we're going to go ahead. I got to start the 5-minute timer. And then we're got a countdown. And at the end of that, We get the, it'll buzz and beep like an alarm. And if that doesn't work, we might try the my handy dandy ELD egg timer. When personal conveyance just isn't enough, and you want to make sure the eggs are ready, use your ELD egg timer. Anyways, we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and stop the clock. Let's go ahead and reset that. We're going to try that. That's what we're doing tonight. That's the fastest auto transport Intel information superhighway of all time. Let's do this here. We're going to go into the CTS Business Coaching question of the day. And what I need to do now is I need to change the camera. What is the CTS Business? Hey, what's up? Hey, what is the CTS Business Coaching question of the day? The question is, ladies and gentlemen, the question is this. What is the date that CDL holders and employers, employing drivers, are supposed to be ready for the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse registration? What is the date that CDL holders and employers are supposed to? By the way, here's the second question. If you don't have a CDL, do you have to sign up for the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse? We are going to talk about it. So what I want you to do is stick around. When we come back after the break, we're going to have Rich, we're going to have Ty, we're going to have Ziggy with us, and you aren't going to want to miss it.
IATA stands for Independent Auto Transporters Alliance. Visit the website, IATA.biz. The mission, driving auto transport business together. Drivers, managers, owners, carriers, networking and sharing best practices. IATA provides access to suppliers with discounts. That's right, discounts. IATA, always working to make the car shipping industry better. IATA, something we can all be proud of. If you're a carrier and you're interested in joining IATA, visit the website, IATA.biz. Click on Become a Member. Follow the register and checkout process. Got questions? Click Contact Us on the website.
That's right. Okay. Oh, whoops, wrong screen. Hey, there we go. Yes. So, all right. So I just sent the invites to Rich, Ziggy, and Ty. They're going to be joining us in a few minutes. And Ziggy is the founder of IATA. So if you have questions for Independent Auto Transporters Alliance at IATA.biz, any questions at all, co-founder Ziggy is going to be with us tonight. And, and that's actually one of the topics tonight is communities and groups. What communities are you a part of? What groups are you a part of? Where do you get your information? Who do you rely on? Oh, here we go. Rich is with us. Hey, Rich. Can you see me and hear me? Okay. Oh, here we go. We got, Ziggy is with us. Hey, what's up, Ziggy? Ty will be with us shortly. Hey, you can hear me okay? Oh, hang on one second. Okay, now we can hear you. Please say hello to the Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights Live audience.
Hello to the Auto Transport Intel audience of Tuesday night.
So Ziggy, man, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, and Rich, can you see us and hear us okay?
Yes, I can. How about you?
Awesome. I see you. I hear you. Hey, I like the cars you got stacked up. That's cool, man.
Gotta get my trucks out, man.
Yeah, man. And speaking of, okay, so I was just talking about IATA. Rich, you are the VP of Insurance at PFA, Transportation Insurance and Surety Services.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate what you do and the time you spend on this show and what you do for the community. I mean, I don't know how many articles you send me. It's a lot. How do you keep up with all that information?
I don't sleep a lot, man. I got some good friends that put out some good stuff. How's that?
All right. Well, that's good, man. I know because you're buddies with Tommy Rook. You're buddies with a lot of people. Same for you, Ziggy. Ziggy, you know a lot of people.
Couple.
Yeah, I can. Rich and Ziggy, that's why I'm excited to have both of you guys on this show tonight. You guys are in touch with a lot of people. You have your finger on the pulse, and you help get information out. You're helping people build their businesses. Am I right about this?
That's the goal.
I know, we're live. Jay's the bus driver. And because I tell you, you know what's, I go back and I watch some of these videos, I'm like, man, I did all the talking. It's not lost on me. I think about this. That's how I lose sleep. I just did all the talk. I spent 2.5 hours talking to a camera and having people, hanging around, but I did all the talking. I'll tell you what, that's why, and I know Ty's going to be with us in a second. We're going to start up this speed. Did you see my demonstration of the speed round?
I think that's awesome.
Do you think it'll work?
It can be fun.
Yeah. I mean, it might work. By the way, I know there's a lot of great stuff going on in the live chat. Did either of you see anything in the live chat that piqued your interest that you wanted to make sure we talked about?
The guy talking about using go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope, go for it.
The guy that's asking the question about the 4 cars, it's not as simple as can it work. It's always based on multiple factors, and the lane, doesn't mean as much as it does to the fact that you need to price properly for the lane. If you can't make enough money with the piece of equipment, there's no reason to have it. If people want you to run a 4-car 300 miles for 50 cents per mile per car, you're going to go broke. The 4 cars are expensive. They have a shorter life expectancy, and they should be paid a lot more than they are. So, that's just my personal pick there.
I appreciate that clarification because, in some of my earlier shows where I was doing dispatching and looking at vehicles and, okay, right, how do you choose what you're going to book and who you're going to talk to? It's about, there's a lot of factors. And trying to just give a simple, this is a good rate answer isn't easy because everything's based on the factors of your business, which is why some folks feel like really cheap freight keeps moving. Well, unfortunately, okay, they're either going out of business, which is possible, or that price actually worked for that carrier. It's probably the first one,
I think that lack of knowledge by the carrier is what's really costing most of them. They don't realize what their actual cost per mile to operate is. And the more times I ask that question, I'm amazed by how few people actually know their true cost per mile just to drive.
I totally agree with you. We did it. We were doing a show about that. That show, you could do that show on a regular basis. And really, in case somebody's thinking, well, I'm not a carrier. Well, in your business, if you add up all your expenses, fixed and variable, plus a little unpredicted, and you got to pay yourself, do you have that number? Do you have that number handy? I'm like, oh my God, everybody's running to the calculator.
Yeah. If you have to run to a calculator, that means you're not aware of it off the top of your head. How do you walk into an auction and price cars going to a location without knowing those factors? How do you call somebody from Central and do the same? How do you operate? How do you even start your truck without knowing what that truck's going to produce above and beyond your simple cost per mile?
It's great stuff. And so if you are running to your calculator, I'm sure you're not alone. Just do it. We started a new year, right? You're at Planet Fitness every 5 minutes. Well, go ahead and calculate your cost.
Right? Do some wallet fitness.
Right, do some wallet fitness. Oh, man, somebody called the marketing department. Wallet fitness. Hey, what's up,
Absolutely.
Ty? Hey, what's up, Ty? Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, man, that's great.
How are you?
I'm great, man. I mean, I spend all day, dude. I started, so I had the email, the carrier email goes out on Monday mornings at 6 a.m. And then the business email, this is the email for the show, goes out at 10 a.m. And literally, I worked on this show. I've been working on this show since, I don't know, like 8 a.m. I hope it shows.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Well, you know, I mean, what else am I going to do?
Well, you put out a lot of good information, and people probably don't realize it does take quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it does. Well, and you know what? I had a meeting with somebody, and they said it really well. When you do a live show, all the work happens before you go live. Because once you're on camera, man, I can't do anything. I'm stuck in this chair. I'm hooked in. I can't do anything.
Yeah, so what are we talking about?
All right, so there it is, man. So what we're gonna do is, thank you, Ty. I knew that we needed to get back on track. It's already 8:50. Gina's gonna be wondering what's going on. All right.
Haven't even got anything done. She's going to come in here and start slapping us.
She is, man. She's gonna be like, what are you bang
You
hangs
have
doing?
randoms on you guys with hair follicles.
Right.
Trump
So
errors.
randoms. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, you know, I had that in the industry news that the random drug testing rate was up. I don't know where that news story went to. Seems like I covered everything else under the sun. But all right, well, that is going to fall into the FMCSA. By the way, did you see these categories? We got high tech, cars, dealers, and OEMs, driver shortage, being a business owner, marketplace rates, communities and groups, insurance, rates, and risk. Ooh. Rich
who likes that
That's
topic.
a juicy one. California Bill AB 5. That is a big topic. FMCSA Clearinghouse and brokers and brokering. You know, so you guys, does everyone have their finger on their buzzers? I'll take brokers and brokering for 200, Alex. Okay. I got to get those. We got to get buzzers. I got to start sending people their auto transport intel buzzer. Of course, we can't.
Oh boy.
Wait, Ziggy already has one. We just can't see it. Okay. All right. Here we go. You guys ready? I'm going to spin the wheel. It is 8:51.
No volume, dude. Come on.
Really? I can hear it. You guys
Have the
can't hear
volume.
it?
Yeah.
I'll have
It
to
doesn't
work.
work without the volume.
All right. I'll have to work on that.
Okay.
All right. Well, I could hear it. You know what? I'll try. I bet you if I unplug here. Oh, we got marketplace rates, by the way. Should we go into marketplace rates?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's do that, and then I'll do the volume on the next one. All right, there's the timer, and go. Who wants to start the conversation about marketplace rates?
What are marketplace rates?
Well, marketplace rates. All right, so we're talking about carrier rates. Ziggy, are carriers making what they think they need to be making?
Absolutely not.
All right. So what are the factors? Why is this happening? I mean, like, and we know in general freight, these trucking companies going bankrupt, that's making the news all the time. So what is the deal already? Why? What are we talking about, and why is it happening? Can you elaborate?
I've been getting phone calls based on my previous line of work, being a repossessor for 30 plus years, asking me if I will pick up fleets of trucks right now. People, because they don't know their cost of operation, they don't know how to price. People, because they're desperate, because it's a little bit of a questionable market right now, they're taking complete loads. I've seen complete loads at less than $2 per mile for a Stinger truck. And somebody's moving them, and it's absolutely... it's foolish. You're paying somebody to work for them at that rate.
Like
I don't care what you think. Yeah. I don't care what you think you're doing as far as putting fuel in. You're still paying somebody to move their car at that point. Because for a Stinger truck, you cannot operate a Stinger truck with drivers, with insurance, with maintenance, with cost of equipment, and what have you, at $2 per mile, sub $2 per mile. You just can't do it. It costs more than that to run that truck.
A lot of carriers are feeling like shippers and brokers are taking advantage of them. Would you say that's part of what's going on, or is this a?
Oh, I think that's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
As a shipper or broker, you don't have the right to tell me what I'm going to work for. I built my company based on my cost factor.
That's right, and that's
so when you tell me I have to work for $2 a mile, I can't say what I'm thinking because we're on public air per se.
This is why when there is a load posted on a load board, which by the way should not be your primary business model, but let's assume you're looking at a load board and they've got that price down to the decimal. Where'd you get the decimal? How do you tell me you got this load price down to the decimal? Right?
I don't understand the business model of your customers telling you what they're going to pay.
Right.
My business model is based on what my cost factors are, and I tell my customers what it will cost them if they want my company, my business to move their vehicles.
My understanding is this is why in general freight, a lot of loads don't even have a dollar amount because they do expect you to tell the carrier. The broker is expecting the carrier to tell the broker, what are you going to move it for? So,
I've been told that they don't price it because with so many people being so ignorant to the actual cost per mile to operate, that a lot of times people come in and they offer to do it a lot lower than they would have initially priced it at. So brokers are making more money when people don't understand their true cost of operation, because they'll come in and the broker knows they can spend whatever the number is, doesn't matter, but they know they can spend $12 per mile and they have somebody coming in offer due for 23 cents a mile. Yeah, I mean, as a businessman, if I was a broker, you want to move for 23 cents a mile and you've got all the proper stuff, hell, I'll dispatch it to you. I'll rob you blind if you let me.
And many carriers that are growing and successful, I think, do plenty of their own brokering of loads because they have the customer relationships. They have the load. It's outside their route. Then they go ahead and have a carrier move it.
Well, you saw one of the pictures you posted earlier was gentleman posted a load for one of his customers and it got roofed. And I believe in the rest of the pictures I saw, there were 3 other vehicles hurt on that load. It's a horrible situation for the guy that brokered it out or put it out there for the customer. Whose insurance is going to pay this time? Is it him as a broker? Is it the other guy as a carrier? Does the other guy have proper insurance? All those things can very quickly make that guy's best year his worst in a minute.
You know, as you know, I got that off your site, autotransporteverything.com, or rather on the Facebook page, Auto Transport Everything.
Right.
You have lots of great posts up there, real news information. Oftentimes, it's somewhat depressing, but it gets the point across. And I appreciate you elaborating on that. So here's what happened. Our 5 minutes ran up. We did it. We ran out the 5 minutes on our first topic. You guys ready to spin the wheel again?
Have at it.
Wheel of topics, baby. Let her rip.
Have at it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to unplug my headphones. And let's see. We won't use that again. So I'm gonna do the timer. All right. Let's see if we hear this one.
Ooh.
All right, cars, dealers, and OEMs. Now I know, Ty. I know that you love this topic. So please kick us off, and really, one of the things that, I mean, cars, dealers, and OEMs. What I was thinking I'm starting the timer. What I was thinking when I put that topic together was, okay, there's a lot of new cars. Car buying, car shopping behaviors have changed a lot. Online dealership strategies are growing like crazy. Used cars are on the rise versus new cars. And then the automakers are working hard to release newer vehicles, especially electric. How does this impact the car shipping industry?
Oh man, like crazy. Because you know what we always say, follow the life of the car, right? Follow the life of the car. It doesn't matter if it's electric or gas or diesel, just follow it. It's built, goes on either a truck or a train or a boat, goes to a dealership, sold, now it's used. How many times do we transport it? How many times does Ziggy repo it? How many times does Rich cover it for all the crashes? I mean, if you watch it, as soon as it's born, it goes to a dealer. So you got the car, dealer, OEM, which the OEM maybe should be on the beginning of the list. But either way, my favorite topic, because dealers have cars and they have quite a few of them. So it's one of my favorite topics. I like car dealers. If you're wanting to build your business, if you want to grow your business, do what Jay did last week. Just whip into a car lot and talk to a guy. See where it goes.
It's true. So I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm now going to dealerships and saying hello. In fact, I have to go to another dealership this week and say hello. And I just went in. This is for, listen, if you're a dispatcher, new car hauling business owner, you're a broker, whatever it is, and you want to build your business and find out more about what Ty is talking about and the coaching that, he's mentoring you, go ahead and try it. I did. I walked into the dealership. I had 5 bullets of things I wanted to talk about, and I kept apologizing, saying I don't want to waste your time. I sent the guy an email, and you know what? He didn't want to read my email. But the point is that I had his attention for a few minutes, and I learned face to face in the dealership, made the relationship. Hopefully, I don't know if he'd remember me next week, but you feel the pressure. But this is you also feel you're in the heartbeat. You're in the ventricle. My goal is to work up to larger dealerships and maybe start walking into auctions. I don't know. Start walking into the GM building. Okay, maybe not. Well, we already did that, Ty.
Yeah.
But
well, we're doing it because, like you said, we're putting our money where our mouth is.
Ty Thompson. Look at that. Do you guys see that? Ty sent me a super chat while he's in a conversation with me. That is Ty Thompson at work, ladies and gentlemen. And that's right. That money's going to sushi.
Sushi and car dealers.
Sushi and car dealers. Absolutely, man. I do. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime.
But I mean, it's interesting how this is step 1. Auto Transport Intel is where you get information, where people can share information, you can ask questions. But to really build your business means to walk off the ledge with the information and do something with it.
Right. Well, it's knowing your customer. And I think Rich, Jay, Ziggy, Gina, everybody, it's fun, these topics, because everybody kind of has their own special, I like this one, I like that one. But at the end of the way that I see it, and anybody's happy to chime in, but to me, it's always a good idea to emulate your customer, to know your customer inside, outside, pains, gains, anything you can about your customer, and then go do your best to serve them. So we're hauling cars. Most car dealers have cars.
Right, exactly. And you taught me that. I was thinking about when I started, that's what's so crazy. You had to grab me by the horns and say, Jay, I don't know what you're doing. You're staring at load boards all day. You think this is a business? Are you crazy, brother? And I was thinking, you know what? It is, you got to be right, because staring at load boards all day is, it'll make you crazy. If you're sane, you're a sane person, you want to try crazy, skip the mushrooms and the cannabis and stare at a load board all day.
Yeah, I like the mushrooms and the cannabis. Somebody had to say it. Come on, we're all men.
Hey, man.
Most of us.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you did. And by the way, and note, I was reading an article that people were experimenting and going to see the movie Cats, and had a lot of. This is definitely not an FMCSA clearinghouse conversation. Okay, let's go to. All right,
Gina's not here. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Gina's not here. All right, here's what we're gonna do. All right, let's do this. Let's go back to the Wheel O topics. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see the Wheel O topics appear somewhere else. But this is so exciting, and this is your fault, Ty.
Sorry, man.
Wheel of
I like
Topics is your. I love it. Oh.
Speed round.
Ooh. Oh, Rich! Oh, we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of like a carnival. All right, 5 minutes on the timer. Rich.
I won't use all the time because I know I learned from talking to Ziggy last night, but I got ready for this. You know, we shared some good exchange of articles back and forth today. Jay and I did, and you know, when you read some of the stuff I'm posting out there on LinkedIn, I'm not making it up. I'm reading the industry press. Couple things that are going on. Those roads, your workplace is unsafe. You guys know it, right? You've always had the problems with the four-wheelers around you, but the distraction, it's the time of year that it's difficult. Look at the pileups that we had, again, weather-related problems that are challenging you. All those things are leading to more and more claims, and the cost of claims are going up. So when the number of claims goes up and the cost of those claims goes up goes the rates for insurance to cover those losses. I hate to say it, you know, we keep talking about our 5 points of insurance, right? Drivers, equipment, operation losses, the management, what's it going to cost? I did read something good today that in the first part of last year that the number of crashes or the fatalities at least were going down, but we had those nuclear verdicts, we had those extreme verdicts. And I mean, it's not trucking, but you know, some family got $46 million off of IKEA because a dresser fell on their kid. I'm sorry that happened, but I mean, really, $46 million. What's when someone has?
Tell me what's IKEA so I can take my kids shopping.
Yeah, no kidding. But you know, claims management process is a challenge. That's why I'm glad to see that John Libertor is on this. He's the guy that gets it. He's the guy that knows, just like Brendan, when we talk to him, what do you have to do when you start having claims? And as soon as that claim happens, you got to get after it. And you referenced the seminar that Tommy's got coming up where they're going to talk to the lady from Dart. That's a 2,000 unit trucking company. You know, their approach is getting out there and being empathetic with the claims, you know, the plaintiff, the injured parties, and having that. It's a hard conversation, but it's like, how can we come to some resolution here? You know, you're never going to be able to restore them 100%, but you're trying to get through that. You know, rates are going up, accident, crash management, stuff at the scene. Are you doing the kind of stuff Brendan talked about? Are you running video cams so that when you're not at fault and that stupid car cut you off, you know, and came right out in front of you, that you've got something to protect yourself? Those are the things that do make a difference. There was a article that I posted today about the guy from Protective Insurance. They're looking at all this technology. They are hopeful that they can get some technology that makes the equipment safer. You know, the driver can operate safer, can help them when it comes time to settling these claims and trying to get them resolved. So there's so much, and you, that driver, and if that driver is you behind the wheel, this is Ziggy and I talking, you know, is this piece of equipment unsafe at any speed? And a good driver can operate a less safe piece of equipment, but every one of us is better off having an ultra safe piece of equipment, right? And these are the things. Go ahead and jump in, Ziggy. I mean, you know, because you pay the bills, right? And you see it happening to you. Rates. You know,
yeah, we purposely don't put in claims for less than a certain amount. Now, even our insurance company wants to track, even if we pay it out of pocket, they still want to know. the type of equipment out there, which we're referring to, of course, is substandard built equipment. It's easy to sit here and name names, which I don't want to do because I don't need to end up with a bunch of summonses at my door tomorrow morning. But there are a lot of pieces of equipment we all know are junk. I won't name any brand names, but a gooseneck on a wedge trailer is setting you up to fail. The simplicity that the center of gravity is going to be so high when you put one on that first position, if you don't have something on 2 and 3 behind that, you're all but guaranteeing yourself a rollover with little to no effort. I mean, can you prevent it from happening? Most of the time, if you're extremely skilled, but a lot of the people that get into the 1-ton trucks or even the 3/4-ton trucks now, down in Bordentown, New Jersey, I see F-250 Fords with 3 and 4 car wedges behind them.
Yeah.
And they will go over so easy. It is so unsafe. The guy's wife is working at Walmart at night and they've got an F-250, so he's going to go run it and make money. He has no clue what he's doing, no clue how to handle it, no training whatsoever on strapping the cars down or on driving that heavy of a piece of equipment, being the truck and trailer, that it's destined to fail.
And what was originally an idea to make extra money and do something resourceful can just turn into an incredible disaster.
Like
there was
me, you know, when you have those people putting more accident claim costs into the pool, then everybody's gonna face it, right? So until there's some awareness and there's a deliberate change in mindset, or how do you separate yourself? That's one of the things, you know. How do you accurately separate yourself from the rest of the crowd?
And this is why we're talking about this right now. There's somebody that's going to see this and they're thinking they're going to be fine. They're going to go ahead and grab their truck and get a trailer and load some cars and make a few bucks. And man, it is not that simple or safe. And I hate to make the show that brings in so much bad news, but it seems like we have to do it.
Well, if you're going to do it, as your point is, how do you do it right? And what is a safe configuration, right? So if you're going to get into the business, talk to the guys that know, right? And physics that Ziggy was talking about, that center of gravity. I mean, I know that when a lot of hot shots started running in the insurance companies that I worked with, are the braking mechanisms, is this truck, is this trailer, you know, is the design safe or unsafe, right? And can this thing be able to stop? Is it a longer stopping distance? You know, do you run lighter amounts of weight on it? Do you drive it slower? You know, you don't use it in highly congested areas. I mean, driving across Wyoming, you're not going to hit anything, you know, but a tumbleweed or a cow. So, I mean, these are the things that you got to be thinking about.
It's interesting how a simple idea can have so many ramifications. And on that note, we're going to go back to the wheel. That was a good topic. Dang, that's looking like a future show. I'm telling you what. Insurance rates and risk. And I think we did it. It's been a while, so it's time to do it again. All right, here we go. Spinning the wheel. Oh man, this leads into being a business owner, right? So many people, like every day, it is nonstop. I'm going to set the timer here. People talking about getting into the business. You know, they got an idea, they got a dream, they got a truck, they got a couple pieces of freight, maybe a car they can move. You know, do a couple pieces of paperwork and let's go. How's that going to work out?
Go for it, Ziggy.
As far as jumping into the business, it's the great American dream to be an entrepreneur, walk in, start the truck up, load the cars up, deliver them, cash a check. And the type of work we do, it is very highly skilled people at different levels of our industry. I don't think that, some think that only the stingers count in the entire industry. Some people think that only the wedgies count, whatever. With the huge, vast amount of different pieces of equipment out there, you have to be trained for the equipment you're going to be using. You don't train on the road in the real world. You train behind somebody else that knows what they're doing, that has real world experience, if you want to succeed. If you don't give yourself the ability to learn, then you're definitely going to get taken to school when it comes to damages or killing some family someday. Because when you can't stop because you're overloaded, or you're overloading the piece of equipment, and you kill a family of 6, you're going to get a big education real quick, right from Bubba in prison.
Holy mackerel.
Well,
I just wanted to drive a truck.
Well,
Yeah.
well, look at that. Look at the kid up in, where was it?
Yeah.
Was it Connecticut or Mass?
Yeah, well, it was.
Or Maine. I think it was Maine, wasn't it?
Well,
I have chemo brain, so excuse me.
No, and, you're right. The thing is, it's hard to keep track of. The accident happened in Massachusetts, I want to say. But I don't think he was.
I think they were talking about Mass didn't take his license. I think it was in Maine. I don't know. Regardlessly,
Yeah, somebody
if
didn't pull
somebody
his
were to
license.
have properly trained him, if they were to properly have qualified him to drive the truck, then it would be different. Right now, that same company changed their company name.
Yeah.
They're up and running in another name now. And how many more people do they have to kill?
Well,
I mean,
and he already
the guys I ride my bike with, he would have never made it out of there.
And he had other violations. Like I think he represents kind of that bad apple that gets talked about. But he's not alone in his bad appleness, you know?
No, he's not.
Was it last summer that we had that
Sorry,
bad
Bill.
one in Colorado? You know, and that was a guy from Texas. I mean, the deal is every person to be successful in their job, you know, what's the knowledge, what are the skills, what are the behaviors that they have to do to be able to do it right. When you look at behaviors as a truck driver, that's what the feds are writing up on your safety management scores. It's behavior scores, right? Is the
Right.
vehicle, is the speed, you know, are all these behaviors, that's what they're focused on. And so being in business, I agree. I mean, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, it's American dream. I think that's awesome. But, you know, are you going to go bankrupt trying to live out your dream? Or as was alluded to early on, are you able to do it intelligently, right? And know that I've got to have this much money, that I face. You know, trucking faces so many regulations, right? You got this huge burden. You know, when you bring Gene on, we're going to be talking about another burden. You know, you got to be doing this drug and alcohol clearinghouse. You got to do more randoms now. You got all these safety things that are up there. And then you got everybody with their hand out, right? Uncle Sam's got his hand out. Your uncle from your aunt or uncle from the state, you know, your governors and all your locals. You know, you guys pay through the nose on fuel taxes. Right? You got to do your EFTA reports and all that when it comes to your fuel. You know, you are one of the most heavily taxed industry groups. And so you got high regulations and you got high taxes and you got high costs of insurance. and when you read,
Right, what's the dream? Where's the dream part?
Yeah,
That's the
really.
point. I don't know, actually. I don't know.
I just want to F the man.
Right. That's, well, somebody was saying, who was saying this? It's just, you know, this might be a reflection of how dissatisfactory a lot of 9-to-5 jobs really are.
Yeah.
Which is,
Well, one of the things I would say real quick, I know the time's up, but
yeah.
save a lot of money, as much money as you can. Have it saved before you start. That's what I'd throw.
Oh man, I know, and that's like, yeah, I'll put that on the to-do list, right?
I just want to have my own company.
There's an old joke. You know how you make $1 million in farming? You start with 2 million. You can say the same thing about trucking.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah, and entering the realm without the knowledge will guarantee you a very rough ride. I mean, just listening to your show, Jay, the people you have on the panel here, the consulting you have available with the tie-in, what is it, Shaggy, I think it is?
Yeah.
You can gain a lot of information if you're not willing to spend the time to do that, or you're not willing to spend the money to hire a consultant like that. You just might not be in the position of doing anything in this industry, because
awesome
you're going to pay one way or the other.
That is an
I tell my guys when they damage a car that's their college, because they're going to pay for that lesson.
And so here's the unbiased part. I really push that coaching, and it's not me. Ty does the coaching, but I know from the many emails and comments I get, there are so many people all the time with this same American dream of having a trucking company. Go get coaching, please. Please. I see the images of the goosenecks toppled. It's too many. And by the way, Rich, when you share those videos of those, like you got the roadside DOT videos, you definitely want to know what you're doing. Watch some of those videos. Just Google, right? Roadside trucking enforcement. Have fun. Yeah, you don't want to be the star in that video.
Or Google search proctologist videos. It's about the same video.
Right.
It may be the same people.
I think it's made by Bubba. So, all right, here we go.
Yeah, right.
All right, here we go. The Wheel O Topics. I got to change the name from Topic Wheel to Wheel O Topics. Ooh.
Jay.
Whoa. So, I guess I should kick this off in that, I like to share a lot of high-tech information. It seems more and more that the industry news is full of more and more high-tech. Did you guys see that infographic I shared in industry news with all those company brands and names? There are many new companies. In fact, every trade show we've gone to, we learned of at least one high-tech company that's either making a product or a service or a new vehicle. In fact, when I was reading, I didn't even put this in there. I forgot to set the timer. Dang it. Yeah, it's good. Because you're talking,
minutes,
Jay.
sucker.
Right, exactly.
You had one job, Jay. One job.
So,
He didn't set it so he could talk longer.
pretty low tech of you.
Right.
So,
Cheater.
It's like not using a height stick in car haul.
right, exactly. Never done that. So, listen. So the flying car. People talk about flying cars. There's actually stories about flying cars now. Are you guys ready for flying car news?
Yeah, the Jetsons.
And what does that have to do with car hauling? Well, does it? I think it does. One way or another, it does. Either you're going to haul flying cars or you're going to lose some business because of flying cars. I'm not sure which one it is. What about cars that drive themselves to their locations and you don't have to take them? Is that going to happen? This is getting crazy.
Well, it seems the majority of the companies that are making these cars have walked away from that thought process, because if it's Ford and they want to deliver a car to you at your house, they are legally responsible and can be sued for anything that happens on the way. And because they don't want that liability, I don't foresee it happening. I don't see Tesla, I don't see Ford, I don't see GM, I don't see any of the majors wanting to extend that liability to have a self-driving car out there, whether it be their fault or not. If there's nobody in that car, they're wrong, they're at fault. So I don't see them having them delivered that way for quite some time to come. The liability is way too high.
That's an excellent answer. I think you're right. and people still like to have their new stuff delivered. So, but yeah,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think more to the point though is like Carvana. Like I know we talked about this, so I wanna get your opinion on air. Is Carvana involved in car hauling? Or is there car shipping happening within Carvana? The answer is yes. But
Absolutely.
But is a
They're doing it themselves, aren't they?
is a Carvana 2-3 car hauler a car hauler? It's a wedge trailer, right? I'm not trying to.
Well, if you want to,
yeah, go ahead.
the definition of car hauler, everybody has to understand, is it's been defined by FMCSA. So that's where the stinger people get upset with, the wedge drivers get upset with, the 4-car rollback drivers, blah, 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 blah. They all move cars. But the definition of a car hauler is a truck that has the ability to carry one on the power unit and has a trailer behind it. So the wedgies cannot be a car hauler by the statute unless you want to pull some crazy shit. Oh, crazy poop. Sorry about that.
No. Hey, no, I think you got bleeped out. Actually, that was convenient. But no,
yeah, there you go.
And I hear what you're saying, and really more to the point, because I don't want to get in the weeds on the definition. And we did have,
right.
I think we had Mike Matusik on the show, and we talked about the definition of a car hauler. But the weight of the batteries in the electric cars is definitely important to somebody that was moving 500 Chevy Cruze that, you know, consume gas to now 500 electric Chevy Cruze. It could have an impact on, you know, weighing out before cubing out.
Absolutely.
So I bring up not just new cars, but also new technology. Here's another one, another technology. The mirrors, right? Taking the mirrors away and putting in cameras. There's going to be all kinds of stuff like that.
I think it'll give you a better viewpoint, the mirrors, the cameras instead of the mirrors. But at the same time, there's the problem. How do you keep them clean? How do you keep them active? What happens when they go out? All of a sudden, you're blind driving.
I was thinking that too. That's going to be nuts. How many guys...
Yeah.
You're going to have all these roadside techs. Then the movie Brazil pops in my head, and now I'm way off base. All right, let's go to the Wheel O topics. I think it's working, Ty. I think this is happening.
You're doing it, man. You're killing it. Oh, I just like the noise.
Oh man, we were that close to AB5. Communities and groups. All right, you know what? I put this one in there, guys, because really everybody on the show tonight, and I know like we got Gina Kessler's going to be joining us really soon, and then we're going to spend some time with Gina. We're going to talk about the ins and outs of the Clearinghouse. Gina, hang on for a few more minutes, and then Lucas with Glowstone. He's going to round out the show. He's going to join Gina and the rest of the group to talk more about the Clearinghouse. But everybody has a community and a group and a way of building growth of information and then sharing that information, right? Rich, you have introduced me to the vast knowledge coming out of MCIEF, and you even tap into other groups. ATRI. Name some more groups that you tap into.
Well, you're gonna have somebody on from Sleep Safe, right? Apnea.
Right.
I'm a hose head. I look like an F-16 pilot at night when I go to sleep, right? Because I wear the machine. So I unfortunately know a lot about that, and I'm a board member of the American Sleep Apnea Association. So I sit on the board for that group. I sit on different communication groups with Tommy on that educational program for truckers. I am very active in the Arizona Trucking Association. I'll flip on my truck driving championship hat.
Awesome.
You know, I MC that event. You know, so who are these people that are at the top of the industry, right? Who are the leaders? Those are the people I like to learn from, like to rub elbows and hear from them. So through Tommy, that's where ATRI, I've known Rebecca and Dan my whole career. So people that tend to come into association groups are generally trying to be better, right? And help others in the community around them. So those are some that I'm active in. And LinkedIn is full of all kinds of groups.
Oh
And
my gosh,
you
LinkedIn.
can just pay attention to what others are putting out there, right? And good industry publications, once again, am I consuming something? Am I putting good stuff into me or just garbage, right? What am I doing when I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, and I'm reading some extra publications?
You said LinkedIn. I was thinking of Ty. Ty, I think you're a pope at LinkedIn. Okay, that's not right. But aren't you maxed out?
No, I don't know.
Dude, you have so many contacts. But I mean, name what groups? Like Rich, that was great. You had a bunch of groups in mind. Ty, what kind of groups do you think about when you think about knowledge, community sharing? Obviously, Auto Transport Intel is a group that you would right? But
well, and it's funny. We do have a group.
We do.
Especially East. I mean, you know how many people your show has caused me to coach?
I don't know. I don't know.
And that is a community because they found you, and I talked to them, and we're all still friends for the most part.
Part of CTS.
We've only made a couple of enemies, right, along the way.
Nobody's 100%.
But anyway, on LinkedIn, I don't know, man. My community is, I'm just a people guy. I like people.
El Patron's got a big community growing, right? Look at that, right? Yeah, lots of people know who El Patron is.
Well, okay, so
tequila.
What's that?
What?
Tequila.
El Patron tequila.
Right. Good call.
Most of my friends, if you look, are car dealers or car dealerships.
Right.
Because I like cars and I like car dealers, and that's who usually pays me, as a car dealer. So I don't know if I have a group so much, but I follow a lot of these car guys, that Jason Harris, Benny. We had Benny on, hanging out with. So my community is car dealers and auctions. Sorry.
All right. No, that's good. And it doesn't have to be a formalized, collective or anagram. But it brings us to no, dang it. I object. Ziggy, you've got some groups. Come on, man. You chime in. Please.
The groups that I follow?
Groups that you follow, that you co-found, that are important to your friends, your business.
Well, we started ATE because there was nothing bringing everybody together. And that's what the initial thought behind Auto Transport Everything was. After we got ATE going, people asked for something a lot more business serious for the car haulers. And when we started to talk about that, we tried to work with the Auto Hauler Association of America, which is the one trade organization that existed at the time. And they had a little different vision, which their vision is great for what they want, but we have a little bit of a different vision. And we started IATA, the Independent Auto Transporters Alliance. Until we start working together to educate each other, until we start working together to leverage our own buying power of many, many, many companies together, we can't truly benefit from it until we start educating one another to best practices, educate each other to the problems. That's what all of these groups need to be doing. Like what you're doing here is you're starting to make people aware of different softwares, different insurances. There's a lot of things that are coming out to the masses now because people know that you have Auto Transport Intel. They know when I posted it in the IATA group, I posted it in AT, I posted it in the car hauler group. Yeah, I mean, there were several people that never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Now that we're starting to share that information, we can start to act more as one unit, even though we all disagree on a lot of things. We can still at least work together to try to make things more, prevalent to our situation. I have chemo brain, so I start talking and I forget what I was going to say halfway through it.
Well, no, it's true. I'm moving some screens around here while we're talking. I'm going to bring Gina in here in a second. But I mean, I appreciate that, and that's actually one of the reasons I bring up communities and groups and added it, because it is a way that we connect and grow and build. And I had no intention of building a walled garden. I want to collaborate. And seeing your openness to build, collaborate, and grow is awesome. I really appreciate it. And some things aren't for everybody. Just like you can walk through an aisle of magazines, you might skip most of them and see a few, and you're like, "That is me. That's what I'm looking to learn this week." And so that's why I bring it up. It's great. And I want to recognize the groups like Auto Transport Everything. That's a great Facebook group as far as looking at the industry, seeing issues happening now. And these communities and groups play a big part in bringing things to the forefront. So I wanted to call attention to that. I put the invite out to Gina. She's going to be joining us in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and I have a strange feeling that the next time I spin the wheel, it's gonna be Clearinghouse. That's what I think.
We should do some bets, man. Let's put a bet together.
Here she is. Gina's here. Hey, what's up, Gina? Welcome to the show. Hey! You've been very patient, so thank you so much.
No, I haven't. I've been tapping away on my keyboard.
Well, that's what everybody else is doing.
You guys were making me cry earlier.
We're making you cry.
God, the burden and Zoom.
I think you're gonna make people cry.
I know. That's my.
He's gonna do it. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, let's.
My job is to help them.
I tell you what. Before I go back to the Wheel O items, welcome to the show, Gina.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, thanks for taking the time. What is going on today? What's the big news?
Well, not much. The sites are down. So everyone, I can't get in. So
what? And like
that's reminiscent of past government sites, right? But yeah.
What is that?
So the Clearinghouse is up and it's live.
The Clearinghouse is up and it's live. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, where should people go? Let's say you're looking to sign up. Is there any way? Can you help guide us in this? Where do you go to Clearinghouse Navigator?
Like to Clearinghouse Navigator, you can. That's an awesome site to go and actually purchase a little bit of help. It's not my site, but it's a good friend of mine. But if you're going to actually, go to register your business like you're supposed to be doing, like we were supposed to do from October until now, but I think everybody waited till last Thursday, and that's when everything crashed. You would go to the Clearinghouse. I think it's .fmcsa.gov.
Okay, Clearinghouse.
Yeah, I'm going. Now you got me going off of memory, but
that's okay. That's all right. Okay.
So they do have a learning center, and you can go there and you can get registered. Now, I will say our phones have probably been off the hook for the past 2 weeks with our clients because it's not that easy, and we've got a lot of people that are on the road, and their job isn't sitting behind the computer, so. They need a little bit of guidance. And so we've gotten a lot of companies registered, sort of walking them through the process. And then the portal piece is a whole other thing. So I don't know if you guys are aware or familiar with that, but there's a linkage.
Okay. Explain it. Let's say right now, number one, right now you're like, what is Clearinghouse? What is she talking about? And two, what has happened? What do you need to do? So explain it because I know there's people that have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we get calls. I had one today from a big school district that said, I've just heard about this yesterday. Can you help us? So the Clearinghouse is a repository that the FMCSA has put together. Stop laughing at me, Rich.
That's a sad statement on education, right?
It's a database that specifically the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration has built as a way to allow companies across the country when they're hiring drivers to see if they, in a very quick fashion, see if their drivers, potential drivers, have a violation for drug and alcohol. So right now, there's no good way to know, right? If you got a driver that's testing positive for drugs and you're not going to hire them, they're going to the next company, they're going to the next company, you're just never going to know. And all of a sudden, if they wait long enough and they can pass the test, and maybe 5 other employers got the positive test and they're, I guess, so to speak, safe, then all of a sudden you got an employer that they passed and they've got somebody on the road that potentially goes back to doing drugs. So the clearinghouse is intended to help eliminate or alleviate or reduce, minimize those types of issues. But it's a great thing if you think about it, because what do we have, 3.5 million active CDLs on the road? And we don't know how many of them might be doing drugs or drinking. So it's clearinghouse to bring it all together for employers and roadside personnel, law enforcement, field inspectors, things like that.
Unfortunately, because of recent news of statistics of what did it hit a 1% random drug test? Tell me more about that. What is that?
Yeah. So the ruling under DOT. So nobody gets on here and like taps in that I'm wrong on this, right? So because I'm gonna paraphrase, but there's a ruling under the DOT that says if you hit 1% or greater positivity rate for the year, and you do that over a couple of years, then they're going to go, wait, stop. We got to reevaluate percentage of your random for the annual draw for the next year. So for the last couple of years, motor carrier has had 25% drug on their annual drivers. They had to test 25% of them for drugs and 10% for alcohol. And over the last couple of years, they've taken a look at the annual positivity rate, and we've reached a point at the end of December where it was necessary to raise that rate again. And so effective, it was the day after Christmas, they made the announcement that the motor carrier would then raise it from 25% up to 50%. So that's doubling, right? All these motor carriers now are seeing their random rate double for them. Their costs just doubled. But it obviously means we've got a bigger issue out there than we thought, 3 years ago.
And you were expounding on why you think that is, one of them being, right, a relaxation in cannabis laws, right?
Well, we all know that everybody likes to smoke a weed. So we see that being one of the number one positivity rates out there. But one thing to keep in mind is January of 2018, we put into effect, like I'm part of the FMCSA and DOT. The DOT put into effect that they're going to add the 4 synthetic opiates to the panel. We didn't have that before, right? So we all know, and we've all been hearing for the last several years, that we've got an opioid epidemic. We've got Oxycontin users that are off the charts, and hydrocodone and oxycodone. We couldn't test for that. Employers could privately, but DOT couldn't test for it. So it had to be written into the ruling, get approved by HHS, get approved by DOT, and it was effectively added to the panel back in a couple of years ago. So we've had 2 full years, if you think about, since that's been added. Now, I haven't seen the numbers, so I don't know 100% that was a lot of why the positivity rate went up. We haven't seen those numbers yet, or at least I haven't. Generally we'll see some kind of statistics from DOT that tells us what different drugs were tested positive for. So my guess would be, marijuana is always high. We probably saw an increase with the 4 synthetics being added to the panel. But we also know, just from industry statistics too, cocaine use is up, methamphetamine use is up. We've seen some of that come through our office, not our office, but in terms of our systems. So that those could all be reasons why. So it's very ironic that we're launching the clearinghouse to be able to capture violations and put it in a repository that allows somebody to see it or capture that information before they hire a driver. At the same time, we're also having to increase the random rates because there's enough reason to believe that there's an issue we've got to tackle.
There's a lot there, and I mean, what recommendation would you whether it's to drivers or companies, is there a recommendation you could give right now about what to do given all this information? I mean,
well,
what would you tell?
drivers got to stop doing the drugs.
Okay.
That's my
all right. Hey, that's just a straight up recommendation. Go ahead and stop. You need to stop.
That helps that trucking insurance Rich was complaining
Right.
about.
You need to get off the ELD Kool-Aid. Right.
Crashes come down. As far as employers go, you know, they've been dealing with this for a long time if they've been in the trucking business for a long time as well. The clearinghouse is going to cause a little pain for a while, no doubt, but it's necessary, and employers need to embrace it because it truly will make the roadways a safer place. So, you know, we're only in day 2. We've had some intermittent issues with the websites. All that stuff's going to clean itself up. We've got 6 to 8 months where it's going to be a little bit painful, and some people are just going to absolutely not want to adopt it. Eventually, they will have to because it's part of the regulations, or get out of the industry, I suppose. But I think everybody on the panel would, I obviously agree. You don't want to get in your car and get out on the roadway and get smushed by 60,000-pound trucks. So
I think the thing, we all agree on that. It's like we need some kind of anchor starting point where we all agree. No one wants to be smushed on the interstate. We all agree on that.
Like a bug. Yeah.
Right.
So,
like a bug.
so sometimes we go through a little pain to get there, but the efficiencies will work its way through. Just like any other startup business, this is no different. There'll be some pain along the way, and then we'll get it figured out.
But it's still, to me, as a casual viewer, still seems, I mean, is it more painful or as painful as ELD? Is this as painful?
I have no idea. I don't do ELD.
Well, me neither.
Do the drugs, so Ziggy, I don't really know.
Ziggy, what do you think? Is this as painful or more painful than ELD? Or less painful?
I embrace all of it, to be honest with you, because I deal in the Northeast where a majority of my competitors and other companies run without these things. So if they're forced to start to use these things, now all of a sudden they have to start pricing differently because their cost per mile changes also. So it's going to put us all on the same playing field. I have no tolerance towards dirty piss tests and what have you. It's just something that I don't want to lose. The house I'm sitting in right now as I'm talking on the phone, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose everything I've worked for 30 years because I've got some dumbass that wants to get stoned and drive a 80,000-pound truck. Hopefully he's going to measure it right, not roof a bunch of cars, tip it over, blah, 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 and then kill a family of 23 or something. So I embrace all this. The ELDs I embrace. Now you're not running 24 hours a day like people used to. I mean, to run 24 hours a day in the past was not a big ordeal. You just snort a couple extra lines of Coke. And now it's putting guys out there, instead of being all coked up and working like animals, they're actually getting home, they're sleeping. The health is going to change a little bit. The quality of work should change, and all of it.
Yep. By the way, I sent the invite to Lucas at Glowstone Trucking is also going to join us because I want to keep talking about the Clearinghouse. And we've got a question. Mark Johnson, he's asking, there was a couple prelim comments. That's why they do randoms, duh. And then, so which one of you guys on the panel is actually a driver or a trucking company? So I'm expecting something insightful, requiring real credibility. I guess if you're not, my guess is, and I get this a lot, and I mean, and Mark, I want you to stick around, but I see this in our fragmented industry that if you aren't a driver or a carrier or you own a trucking company, you're just counted out as far as all the information being said doesn't count if you're not a driver or a trucker. And I don't know why that exists. And I know that it's cost me some views and likes, but I'm still going to continue to make a channel where everybody gets to talk, not just drivers and truckers. Anybody else think that's a good idea?
We're all after the same goal. We want to see drivers and truckers succeed.
That's right. That's right. We do. And so I want the question rather than the credibility test. That's why I bring it up. Let's see. Why Sean Shaggy? We've had some good. Glowstone says it's not more painful than ELD because drivers deal with this every day that are required. Clearinghouse, once registered, only affects a driver maybe once a year. You know, here's the thing is, I know that, oh good, Luke's coming in. I know that and we talk about this, in practice, we understand the reasoning in practice. But I feel like the way this is going to play out socially, it's going to be, I don't know, more painful than we expect but I guess it'll be more painful for the guy in New Hampshire than, right? The guy that drives over the motorcycle drivers, it'll be more painful for him. I don't know. Let me leave that as a cliffhanger. Welcome to the show, Lucas Kibbe from Glowstone Trucking Solutions.
Hey, how's it going, Jay?
Hey, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And just a quick thing about who I am, marketing guy, and I write all the content and articles and webinars that both Glowstone Trucking Solutions does. They help with licensing, fuel tax, IFTA, ELDs, driver training, and then Clean Fleet, which is a drug testing TPA consortium, and we have our own drug testing collection sites where the drivers go get tested as well. So I write all the content, deal with all of this, and of course we're dealing with the day-by-day chaos of Clearinghouse website crashing and all the details there. So that's where I'll be focusing on, is on the Clean Fleet side.
That's excellent. I appreciate that. I was just typing a text in the live chat. So here we are. This is it. The yesterday was, what was yesterday as far as FMCSA Clearinghouse, timeline? What was yesterday?
It was the launch of the database where you're going to have to, be registered, and really it's two things. Day one of when anybody now that goes in for a drug test and there's a positive or drug test, or if a driver refuses to do a drug test, that information from yesterday onward will be put in the database for employers to check. And the database is to prevent drivers from hiding the fact that they got a positive drug test, switch businesses, try driving for a new company, and sort of hide the fact and not mention that they got a positive drug test in their previous company. And so it's trying to hide, instead of hiding that information, you're going to be tracking it. So part of it is that information is going to start being collected. And number two, majority of the issues right now is large companies that are hiring. Large companies that are hiring drivers right now, drivers need to go in for a pre-employment drug test. And part of the requirements with the Clearinghouse stated that they have to, the drivers have to give consent that the employer can look to see if there's any information in the Clearinghouse, which it's day one of information in the Clearinghouse. There's going to be no data in the Clearinghouse. But these requirements that the employers have to do when they're hiring a driver, get consent that the driver is allowing you to look at that information. And then they have to collect that, and the driver has to make sure it's good to go, or the company has to make sure it's good to go, that there's no red flags before, okay, yeah, now you can go get your drug test. And so there's a delay happening at the collection sites because, one, the drivers aren't even registered to the Clearinghouse when they're trying to find new employment. That's the only time a driver needs to be registered, is that they're trying to find new employment. Companies sometimes are, sometimes aren't registered to the Clearinghouse to collect that consent information. So it's causing some strange issues. So the FMCSA actually yesterday was the first we heard it. Today they gave an official announcement that for employers, large employers, or really any employers that are hiring drivers right now, just do your normal DQ file process of looking at the prior 3 years of employment, the driver's employment, collecting that information, seeing if there's any information that those employers have of drug test data. Just as part of the normal DQ process that's been going on for years now. Continue to do that temporarily. That's going to be okay. Just make sure you're sort of checking your boxes that that's what's happening, because eventually, again, the clearinghouse rules will trump how that process is going to happen, and making sure that the auditors don't, scare you. That's the other side of it, is what are the auditors going to look for, or how much leniency are they going to give down the road when they're looking at data. So long story.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good stuff. Hey, I was thinking, so Gina, do you think statistics show that a lot of drivers were going under the radar that tested positive and then went somewhere else, and that's why they have this new requirement where you're not going to be able to do that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Now, I don't really know where those statistics lie.
Right, but I mean, it's your belief, and you talk to a lot of people.
But
TCPs and right, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is you see drivers come through the system for multiple employers trying to get a test to come through clean. So we see the same drivers come through in a small area. So if you have a lot of clients in a smaller community, it's not unusual that you would see multiple that same driver go to multiple employers with a positive drug test. So it's already happening.
Right. And so here we go. And so this is right. Is that one of the main benefits of the system, is to stop that practice?
I believe it is.
Yes.
I really believe it is. And I think there's also probably some other compliance mechanisms built into that, just to ensure that employers are actually doing what they're supposed to do, which is follow Part 382.
And so to follow up on that, the database, it's going to ease the whole DQ process of hiring a new driver eventually. In 3 years down the road in 2023, all you're going to have to do as an employer for the drug testing stuff is just make sure that there's no red flags in the database for that driver in those 3 years. And then then you can continue getting that drug test. That process of collecting past employer information and trying to find those red flags in essence, old school method will be almost instantaneous. So eventually that's where it's going to go. But we're in this weird transition period of you are going to still do those 3 years of employment history data, and then 2 years, a year from now, and search the database. Then 1 year of this DQ file process, and then 2 years of information will be in the database. So it's this weird thing where in 3 years from now, it's going to ease a lot of, especially employers, large fleets that deal with this, hiring new drivers frequently. It's going to ease their process eventually.
Really good question popped up in the live chat. If you fail once, you're pretty much screwing your career, right?
I mean, it depends on if you want to go get yourself through the process.
I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, and we're talking about, drugs, alcohol, I don't know, everything, anything.
Yeah, walking out on a piss test when you temperature doesn't make it. So
wow.
Regulations require that if you violate this in any way, shape, or form today, let's say it's 3 days ago, Clearinghouse didn't exist just yet. You've already got to stop driving if that's the case, and you get to go talk to somebody that's called a substance abuse professional and go through that process. They're going to identify how you need to get, fixed, if you will, whether it's just you were a knucklehead and you got caught doing something you weren't supposed to do, or you have an addiction problem. They're going to figure that out. But you go through that process, and then return to duty and follow-up testing goes through. So that's another part of the clearinghouse that's going to give some visibility to people as well as the employers, is if you're going through that process and you come out of it on the other end clean.
Right. So the driver's day by day, what would that look like if you got a positive drug test for that driver? They would be placed off duty. They can't drive until they can take a return to duty drug test, talk to a SAP, the substance abuse professional, making sure that, they should be fine, good to go, get through the SAP process. There's like the whole process with the SAP, and then maybe they can return to duty. If their return to duty drug test is clean, then they can continue driving. However, that's not the end of it. It's a year or longer of follow-up testing that they're going to be, like, once a month. They have to take a drug test where, of course, the people collecting your urine sample have to watch the whole process. If you can imagine the realities of what that means, peeing into a cup for 12 months or 16, 18 months.
Live on Auto Transport Intel. I mean, really, this does sound. That's why I like talking about this, because it sounds so scary and crazy. Is it just me?
Yeah.
It really
No,
does.
yeah, and there's a lot of drivers out there. The biggest issues is recreational marijuana. The stigma of it has gone in the nation. A lot of states have legalized it more and more. So this idea of, oh, my state, it's
CBD,
legal.
right? CBD
oil.
I'll tell you what. Hang on one second. I'm going to go get some CBD.
Yeah, and so the problem about CBD oil, it's supposed to not have THC, the psychoactive drug in marijuana. It's not supposed to. However, the FDA does not regulate that, and sometimes drivers take CBD, get a positive drug test, and they're like, why? And they actually test the sample of the CBD lotion that they're rubbing, or an oral CBD pill or something that they're taking, and they test it, and yeah, there's way more THC in there that's causing that positive drug.
But why else would there be CBD shops everywhere? I mean, come on, right?
Right.
This isn't just
the CBD does not have any
I don't know.
any mood altering stuff. I mean,
what?
Because I'm on the CBD does not change your.
It's not the psychoactive drug. THC.
Right. It's not the psychoactive THC. Correct.
CBD is supposed to the benefits of marijuana without the high of it. But FDA is not checking to see if they're being true to the label that they put out there and that they're selling. And so there is THC in some CBD oil products, and that's what's causing many drivers that the news lately have been showing is, yeah, there's THC actually in there. And that's what's causing it. So that's causing the issues, like Gina mentioned, the synthetic opioids that's been added. Those are high dose pain medications, basically. That's causing a trip. That's been 1 year of data that's been collected, and so yeah, so it's an interesting time right now. And I do want to give a little bit of context about this 50% random drug test, 25% is where it was. 2001 was when the rules came out, stating everybody in the DOT, which FMCSA and truck drivers, it's 50% of truckers need to be tested randomly. And it was that way for 15 years. 2016 was the first time it dropped, because 3 years in a row, it was below the 1% random positive drug tests. So less than 1% of drivers were getting popped for a positive drug test for 3 years in a row. It was that way for 4 years. And then the newest data that was collected by surveys of these larger trucking companies finally went above the 1% threshold. And so it's gone back up like it has been for 15 years prior. So if you've been in the industry for a while, it's just going back up to the norm that it was before. But so it's not too crazy of a change with that. The Clearinghouse is causing some temporary issues with the registration, but day to day, it's not affecting the drivers, especially if you're in like a owner operator, or just like you have 2 or 3 guys that are car hauling. It's only going to affect you maybe once a year, because you're not going to get a positive drug test, and and then you're required once a year to do your annual, just once a year, check the Clearinghouse to make sure there's no data in there.
Just part of your DQ, right?
Right. So it's only, the Clearinghouse is only affecting drivers or truckers companies really once a year, unless you're hiring. and then it's more of a serious process. Or if you're a driver and you're jumping from job to job every year. So
right, and I'm glad you pointed that out. That's where the congestion, it's in during the hiring, or if you're going to another job to be hired. Right, that's the busy part. If you're already working, and in fact, is it true if, let's say, you're a driver and you've been a driver for this company for years, you're not going anywhere, not much is going to happen, but you have the 1 year, you have the annual?
Right. So your employer will check all the drivers once a year, just to make sure that there's no information in the database on that driver. And that's a good thing anyway, because if you're not going to get a positive drug test, why is there anything in there anyway? Why should an owner-operator check anyway? Well, they're collecting information on their CDL driver license number, and if that person at the collection site mistypes in the CDL number, and it happens to be your number instead of what it was, you might have information claiming you had a positive drug test when it's not someone else. So it's sort of a check to make sure either you're clean and not trying to hide something, or that there's false information and you need to go in there and make sure that's corrected.
Well, and I think philosophically, one of the things happening here, I know who talks philosophically. Good night, Jay. All right, but the thing is that we're not as a society yet used to this kind of regular monitoring. Whereas in 20 years from now, the workforce will be, yep, I checked, I got my pulse checked today, and this checked and that checked, and it's all wirelessly sent. We're not yet. We're the first generation to really feel the hooks of the matrix. Okay, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
still true philosophically.
It's still true. ELDs, the daily feel of that. You're going to get cameras more and more in the vehicles and these telematic devices that is just going to track you more and more. And really the shift is almost these regulations. Large companies are controlling the regulations, and owner operators are slowly or quickly being pushed out of the business. And it's going to be these medium and larger size business. Owner operators are going to leave and join these medium and large size business. And that's going to be the trend. I mean, you sort of see that with the AB5 California law.
Thank you. Yes. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's, again, it was this idea that, the AB5 rule in California had to do with Uber and those, the attack on the taxi companies, right? But they sort of made it all independent contractors, and it grouped in owner operators that are leased onto a large company. So the idea is those owner operators, maybe they should be getting extra special benefits. They should be actually paid employees of this company, not an independent contractor that they are. But that's going to cost so much money for these companies to do in California, or those large companies are just not going to care and drop those owner operators to the side, and it's going to just cause tons of chaos in California. So thank goodness, I think a week ago, a judge sort of paused this
for a temporary restraining order on.
Right.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Okay, so I used to be in California, and California is very much a gig economy. So of all the states that you could attempt to destroy the livelihoods of the people, I still can't figure out how this is a good idea. But luckily I'm not a judge, a lawyer, or a lawmaker. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that. But I do not understand AB5, and I know I'm reading the people of California, people that invoice an employer, or not employer, but a business more than 35 times a year, which is what, a third of California? So a third of California just lost their livelihoods, and at the rates that they pay to live in California, and as much as California needs their tax dollars, what in the world did you guys just do?
Yeah, they pushed that bill way too fast to not allow these people requesting exemptions to actually come into fruition. And so now it's this the rules law, now everybody's applying for these exemptions. We were worried that the law was going to be in effect the whole year, but it sounds like January 13th, next week, they are going to make their case. The trucking advocacy group is going to make their case to try to get this exemption right now. And if that's the case, great news. Otherwise,
every industry is going to be looking for this exemption. And I think what the judge said is that the AB5 overstepped a ruling from the 90s that gave trucking, there was already a federal rule, and that the AB5 overstepped it. But that doesn't help the rest of California's industries. I mean, oh my gosh, man. And then I was reading that it's going to go beyond California. Let's say you work in another state, but your billing company's in California, they're going to rope you into the net. This is nuts.
If you're a company in Nevada, Idaho, New Mexico, Texas, and you happen to drive to California, you have to follow California's rules. And so that's all those surrounding states that it's chaos for the trucking industry. And hopefully it doesn't happen. So hopefully there's the exemption that comes about. We'll see.
And it makes you wonder if was the origin of the proposed bill more politically based than having to do with the economy and the way.
It had to do with fighting for Uber.
It was political. This bill is a political.
You don't need to wonder.
It is. It is. But
Absolutely.
I don't know. That's
California,
the thing. Yeah.
California, just like independent contractors, what are they trying to do to independent contractors? They're trying to make them an employee somewhere.
Right.
So a lot of this is driven, that, now they're going to have health care benefits. They're going to have workers' comp. They're going to have unemployment protection. Well, that's a bunch of bull, right? I mean, this is driving taxes.
Yeah. Everything else.
Well, right, and that right.
Did you guys ever realize that our health care system, we're required to have health insurance and we're required to have workers' comp? We're double and triple insuring for the same failures. And they know that.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So AB5, even though it's taking away from a lot of the smaller business people, I think what they're trying to do is target those that are just simply trying to avoid the taxes, the benefits, the proper way of paying. Is that not what the true meaning of it is to try to get those to comply that are substandardly getting around it?
But the trouble is, so with trucking, you've always had the contractor, right? The dude or dudette that shows up, with a truck, and they put your DOT number on the side of it, right? You got the independent contractor operating, right, in a manner by which you're sharing your revenues. And so trucking is always, when you get deep into this, acronyms start coming up, the F quad A, and this deal in California is all about the 3-prong test. And so when the IRS audits you and when Washington State audits you for independent contractor, these tests are different. This topic gets crazy confusing. But in this deal in California, the 3-prong test basically said if the company, does this same kind of work with employees, then you can't have independent contractors. So that's always been a problem with trucking. Am I an employee model or am I an independent contractor model? Because when I try to merge the two together, that's where a lot of trucking companies get into trouble. But then this deal in California seems to even have further implications, and it's blowing up, as you said, the gig economy. Uber, Lyft, all these other industries, are taking a hammer on this thing. Mm-hmm. So, we're very passionate about trucking, but in California, as you said it, Jay, the implications across other business groups.
You're finally seeing Uber and Lyft on the same sign. Right.
They forced it.
First time. Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's really wild, and this is why when I first heard of the Clearinghouse, really, and the same thing with ELD, I thought the implications of this law are so long term that they make me wonder. And that's why I like talking about them too. I like talking about them because I do like to think about things philosophically. I don't know what the point is, but I do like to do that. And I think it helps to do that because it makes people wonder why we're doing this in the first place. And if you can get to the why, then you can start to get to this. No, you really need to just do it. Right? Some people just want to know why. And if you answer the why, then maybe they'll actually do it. And because I think there are a lot of drivers like, well, why do I need to do this? Well, you know, and then we talk about the statistics and being smushed on the interstate.
It's my technical term.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's very technical.
I know.
It's very helpful. What we're going to do is it's 10:14 and I'm over the 2-hour mark. I just wanted to make sure that we covered everything we needed to cover. Let's do some business. Here, IES. Gina, you guys, when I say you guys,
yeah,
the Clearinghouse Roundtable, January 21st. Please tell me again what that is.
I'm going to give you 2 dates, actually.
Okay, perfect. I love it.
So Clearinghouse Roundtable are regional events that the Motor Carrier and National Drug and Alcohol Screening Association has partnered up with. And then those of us that are local in the region are also helping to put these things on. So as you probably know, and Rich was one of our guest stars in November 6th, I believe, right, of here in Phoenix. So we had a full house, AM and PM session, and so we're trying to do that again. Now, ironically, I think we ran into some holiday issues, but we've started to see some traction again. So this is actually one that I'm putting on because I've got several clients and business partners out in Atlanta, so it made sense for me to go out and play with them for a day. And we're going to be putting on, at least to start, we're working with an AM session. We're going to have individuals come out to talk about ODAPC updates because there's a lot on the horizon there. So it's a good hour or so to get some Q&A out there. And then we're going to have, I believe it's, what is her name? Barbara Bate. I won't even say her name because I'll destroy it and this is recorded. But one of the Clearinghouse reps from DC will be flying in.
Cool.
And they'll spend about an hour and a half going through the Clearinghouse, educating. And obviously this will be really interesting because I've seen 2 of these sessions, the one we did here, where it was just prototypes and pictures, right? And this time we'll be able to actually get in there and they'll be walking us through the database from their perspective while they teach and train what each of these, motor carriers and the service agents will need to know. So I'm very intrigued by this. I also want to plug too, I believe it's January 14th, which is the week before. Hold on, I'm looking at my phone. Is going to be another one held in Cincinnati. Oh, thank you. Yes, go to No. Go to, if you don't mind, will you go to endesa.com?
Yeah, sure. Here, so I'll pull up a browser.
Yeah, do endesa.com and let's show everybody the Clearinghouse registration options for the next couple.
Okay.
I know we've got some others on the horizon. We're looking at Washington State, and I believe we'll probably do one in the East Coast. I think New Jersey's kind of on the docket. X out of that.
Okay.
Go over to events and that FMCSA Clearinghouse event. And so that'll show at least these first 2 that are logged in. So I know I'm going from memory. Scott McGarvey won't like me for not remembering his dates, but we're trying to help him fill up. So if you'll scroll a little bit, this is the Cincinnati, Ohio, Tuesday the 14th. So that's next week, right? Yeah, so we hit every
1 week.
Your community groups we were talking about earlier to try to fill up the house there. So they've got a longer session. They're going to be doing some reasonable suspicion as well. And then down below is going to be the following week in Georgia.
Okay,
that's so you guys don't want to miss that.
$25 a person, lunch is included, right?
That one, yep.
Okay.
And then we're actually hosting ours at the Department of Safety. It holds about 300 people, and we're not allowed to sell anything, so it's all free for everybody.
Cool.
But we're going to have a really good lineup because after Motor Carrier goes through the Clearinghouse, there's going to be myself and woman by the name of Esther McDonald from Seyfarth Shaw. She's a Fair Credit Reporting Act attorney. She's also my
law
attorney.
firm. Yep.
And we're going to talk about hiring practices, employment practices, what employers need to be aware of, because this, in effect, is a background check. And so everybody needs to be aware of the laws and the provisions that they're going to fall under relative to background checking.
Right. I'm glad you said that. This clearinghouse includes background check.
It is a background check.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the things that employers need to be aware of to protect themselves. So that'll be a good event. And then, of course, I'm plugging in DACE's national conference in March. So we'll be talking about a lot of that more.
I'm guessing that's probably in here. That might be this.
Find us out on LinkedIn so we can get you guys registered for that stuff.
Fantastic. That's great information.
Are you flying out for this one?
In March.
I can't get rich to fly.
Jacksonville. You got a countdown. There you go. NDASA. NDASA, National Drug and Alcohol Screening Association.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And so also now, before I move on, let's do this. Whoops. I hit the wrong button there. Yeah, let's do, I had, in the industry news, I also had, Luke, we have, let's see here. We've got on January 31st.
That's right. So we have our annual Trucking Safety and Compliance Conference. It's one that we hold in Portland, Oregon, but I live stream it nationwide. So if you just go onto the glowstone.com/conference 2020 to register, it's free. Whether you attend our conference in person in Oregon, or if you register on and watch it, live stream it online. If you just want the recordings of our conference, we made it free because we know how truck drivers, you guys are just living by the margins at sometimes, and so we try to keep this as free and simple as possible, and live streaming it, giving you the recordings. There's 8 conference topics specifically that we'll be covering: the clearinghouse and what is 2020 going to look like moving forward after you register. We got everything with California, AB5. We have Oregon DOT. We have an FMCSA representative that's going to chat about things that are coming up. We're going to talk about hours of service and when's those rule changes are going to be happening, and when might we see them. A little bit of everything in the trucking and drug testing world that affects owner operators and trucking companies. So again, glowstone.com and
right.
Our conference, January 31st.
Cool. So I'm going to pull
I do want to mention,
and there it is.
Yeah, while you pull it up, I do want to mention how should we wrap up the clearinghouse today? And I do want to mention 2 things. If you haven't registered, you need to. But what do you need to do if you're an employer or an owner operator, a single driver company? You need to register. The FMCSA just also changed as of this morning or yesterday that you don't need to register to the FMCSA portal anymore. In fact, they prevent you from doing that, and you just need to go to clearinghouse.fmcsa.dot.gov, and that's the place that you need to go to register. They do the whole step-by-step process. There's a PDF there on their website. Our Clean Fleet website has that information there as well. But they've tried to simplify this process because, I mean, both websites are crashing, but the FMCSA portal account is been affecting a lot. So there you go.
Clearinghouse.fmcsa.dot.gov. Go here.
And then the second, yes, you can log in or register today. You see the button down there in the lower left or up there on the top and the right. It'll take you to the login.gov, and that's going to be your whole process of registering moving forward until they get some things fixed. We've been noticing that at 4 p.m. Pacific time, so 7 o'clock Eastern time, is when they like make changes on the servers every day throughout the whole day, and about 4 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern, they push those things, and you tend to see some registration possibilities opening up where it's not crashing as frequently around that time. So check it out then to register. The second piece of thing I just want to mention real quick is there are companies trying to scam you out there. We got one that came in from a new client of ours that mentioned onlineregistration.us. They scammed, they were charging like $25 a person to help you register, and then they just take the money and run. So there are scams out there. Go to the official website or use someone trustworthy to help you with this process. So in DASA, great organization. Clean Fleet's a member of theirs as well. So they're a trusted source. And of course, content like ours, and we try to help you out as much as possible. So use good sources of information like that. Use trustworthy sources. And if you wonder, if you're curious, ask someone or ask us, ask Jay, and we'll help you out.
Absolutely. In fact, yeah, let's do some contact information and then you're done. Autotransportintel@gmail.com. That's the best way to reach me. Rich, how can people ask you a question? Phone number or email address? Which one? Anything.
On LinkedIn, a lot of people communicate there. My email, rbren, at pfaprotex with an S on the end.com.
Bren at pfaprotects.com. Ziggy, how can anybody ask you questions?
Sure can. They can always text. They can always email me at Ziggy, Ziggy, at autotechrepo, autotechrepo.com.
Gina, can people call you or email you?
No way.
Yes.
I'm getting enough calls. No, I'm kidding. Let's see, because my name is so darn long. So yes, compliance@impactemployee.com.
Compliance at impact. I like that. Compliance at impactemployee.com. Compliance at impactemployee.com. And LinkedIn too. What's that?
And LinkedIn is good too.
And on LinkedIn, yeah, everybody loves LinkedIn. LinkedIn's the greatest. All right, now Luke, what's a good way for people to ask you questions?
Yep, Lucas K at glowstone.com, Lucas K at cleanfleet.org, LinkedIn, and my direct line is 503-908-7297.
And that is Luke at Glowstone. Anybody else want to give a phone number or anything, or a DNA sample, or whatever?
I got Rich's wife's number. Anybody want
that? Perfect. Yeah, Rich's wife's number. Here we go. Okay. So.
I'm kidding. She still likes me. She won't have to know.
Oh man, she must if she is letting Rich spend this much time on Auto Transport Intel.
No kidding.
What are you doing on this crazy channel?
What's Ty's number?
Ty is. I have it. Oh, Ty. Okay, here we go. Ty is 417-483-2764. Yep, I keep that handy. That's Ty's number, and you can reach Ty at CTS Business Coaching.com. And obviously, I'm autotransportintel@gmail.com. So that's all the information. That's the business.
Jay, you're awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love doing this show, and I couldn't do it without experts like you guys. So thank you so very much for your contribution. I really appreciate it. All right. And let me know how else I can be of help. And you guys, I'm going to let you go. This is the end of episode 119, 2020 Vision. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Bye.
Peace out, you guys.
Peace out.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. And as the kids exit the hallways, and let's see here. Let's go to... and I know it's a long show, and if you're still here, great. And if you're not, no problem. I get it. This is a long show. This is a long show because there's a lot of information to cover. And I tell you what I like about the fact that we dove into the Clearinghouse information. To me, I think it is more severe than ELD, and ELD is pretty severe. I mean, you can't not do it. And this, there are some exemptions and rules. If you're a non-CDL holder, you might want to read the FAQ. My understanding is it is more geared for CDL holders and trucking companies looking to hire CDL holders. But, go ahead. If you have any questions, go to the website, or you can email Luke or Gina with specific questions. You can always contact me or Ziggy or Ty or Rich or anybody else that's been on any of these shows. Listen, this is episode 119. If this is your first time here, I really appreciate you joining us and watching Auto Transport Intel. I change up the show week to week and have variations of themes, but it's all about news and car shipping and the auto transport industry. And I do always hope to at least deliver on that promise to the niche. So thank you guys so much for spending your time with me here. This has been Tuesday Nights Live on Auto Transport Intel. Please do visit Auto Transport Intel, the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, tweet, and whatever else expression seems reasonable and appropriate at the time. Listen, I thank you so much for spending your time with me. I know that you could have been anywhere else, and you spent it here, so thank you so much. I'll see you guys next Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Here comes the car hauler, and I'll see you in a week. Thank you guys so much. Be safe out there, and happy trails.